Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and say this film falls in the category of movies that never would have been made if Scream hadn't been a smash hit. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here with another installment of I Finally Watched It. This time around, we're taking a look at the revenge whodunit slasher Valentine from 2001. The film is based on the novel of the same name by Tom Savage. It was directed by Jamie Blanks and stars David Boreanaz, Marley Shelton, and Denise Richards. Real quick before we get going, please click the like button if you enjoy this kind of content, hit subscribe if you'd like to see more, and jump on into the comments section below. Let me know your thoughts on Valentine and what you want to see here on the channel. Getting to the plot of the film, the story starts with a flashback to a traumatic event at a middle school Valentine's Day dance in 1988. You see, poor, buck-toothed, nerdy Jeremy Melton is walking around the entire dance, asking all of the popular girls to dance with him. Actually, just asking all of the girls to dance with him and can't find any takers. But persistence pays off. He actually manages to get a little sugar, but then is completely thrown under the bus once the school bullies discover him and his lady. The boys drag him out, strip him down to his underwear, and literally kick him while he's down as seemingly the entire class cheers on. Damn, dude. That's brutal. Jump forward 13 years, and all of the popular girls that spurn Jeremy's advances start getting threatening Valentines in the mail, and they start getting knocked off one by one by a creepy killer in a Cupid mask. And this killer also just so happens to share Jeremy's little quirk of getting nosebleeds in high-pressure situations. The police get involved to help the ladies, and they think it may be one of the men in one of their lives. That's the trick though, ain't it? Because these chicks are boy obsessed and each one of them has multiple men in their orbit. Will our Valentine vixens vanquish the vigorous villain? Or will this film be shot so plainly and acted so poorly that you don't even care what the hell happens? So yeah, this film came at the tail end of that whole slasher resurgence that Scream brought on in the mid to late 90s, and by this time the films were looking really slick. Just seemed like they were hiring pretty people to deliver subpar stories, and that's exactly what we have here. The story and performances lack heart, and with the exception of a few moments where the Cupid killer's really letting loose doing their thing, this film comes off like some pilot episode of the next CW teen drama. There are so many awkward scenes filled with this surface level romantic tension, and every guy in the film is either manipulative, sex crazed, or my personal favorite, both. Even still, our leading ladies are so boy crazy that even though there's a killer out there who one of them is most likely dating, they're just going about their lives normally, throwing a big old party at Dorothy's mansion, which is a ridiculously huge house. And while we're talking about the characters, we might as well go over into the acting. And you know, let's try something different here. Let's do rapid fire. David Boreanaz, more like David boring all of us. This guy is a TV actor at best. I really don't understand why people like him so much. Jessica Capshaw, just look at this chick's face. Why does she make all of these odd acting decisions? Her performance is so distracting and off-putting. Mousy, cock tease. Pretty alright for a movie cop, but you are no John Saxon. Forgettable. Weren't you in Knocked Up? Loved him as the bad guy in Van Wilder, but here he's useless. Who are you? I hate you too. And it's not just the cast, the crew has some issues here as well. The film is lit and shot in a way that makes it look flat and run-of-the-mill. In fact, sometimes the lighting is so bright above the performers' heads that it completely blows out their hair totally white. However, there are some shots and moments that really do work here, especially when it comes to the Cupid killer and how he's framed within the camera, and certain moments during the kills that really work for me. But it's not all great with the Cupid killer. I think there are some missed opportunities. You know, the bow and arrow kill, I'm like 3 arrows to the torso. We couldn't get one in the head with like a really cool creative special effect. But a couple of them, like the shower kill in the spa where the lady gets thrown through the glass and then shoved down on the shards of broken glass. I really like that kill. And the one in the apartment where the pervy neighbor is trying on Kate's underwear. Yeah, this movie's full of weird shit. And the Cupid killer busts in and just beats the shit out of him with an iron. It is pretty awesome and very well deserved. So in the final act of the film, they're at Dorothy's mansion for the big old Valentine's Day party. And one thing you should know about David Boreanaz's character Adam is that he's been having a tough time keeping a good relationship with Kate because he's got a problem with the bottle. Kate finds him slamming glasses of wine and she's had it. She's done with him. And not long after that, the killer knocks out the power with a pretty lackluster kill. It could have been pretty cool, but it just ends up being okay. So the power is out and man, does that place empty out. There were like 500 people in there, and 30 seconds later, it's Dorothy, Kate, and maybe Adam. Everybody else has either been killed or gone and found a better party. And while Kate is wandering around the darkened mansion, Adam comes up to her with his little like drunken kind of swagger, and he looks up and he says, "Will you dance with me, Kate?" And I don't understand how she's not freaking the hell out right now because it's exactly like it was in the flashback at the beginning of the film. They know that they've been looking for this JM guy, this Jeremy Melton. They know it may be one of the men in their lives, and he walks up to her, puppy dog eyes and all, just like the little kid back in 1988. But for whatever reason, she doesn't seem to come to that realization, or at least if she did, I did not pick up on it. And she starts slow dancing with him, you know, no music, they're just holding each other. She kicks him in the crotch. He recovers pretty quickly, and then we get into this whole like sequence where she's running from room to room, discovering the bodies. She keeps on beating the hell out of him like he's Ash from Evil Dead 2. He gets a busted bottle over his head, but it's like a corked bottle, so it probably just would have killed him. And this is one of those weird things where this film has this unique ability to feel like it's dragging and simultaneously rush to conclusions. Kate goes to look for Dorothy and the Cupid killer jumps out as they both tumble down the stairs. The killer sits up like he's Michael fucking Myers, but is promptly shot about 6 times in the chest, so that's that. The shooter turns out to be Adam, and boy, Kate is relieved. Whew! Not only is the Cupid killer dead, but her drunk-ass boyfriend wasn't behind the whole thing. They unmask the killer and discover that the whole time it's been Dorothy? For real? How does this make any sense? I mean, she does know all the girls involved. She knows exactly everyone's part in it from the event 13 years ago, but actually she's the one most responsible because she was smooching on Jeremy and sold him out to the bullies. But for real, you can't expect the audience to really believe it's her, right? Adam and Kate share an embrace while they wait for the police to arrive, and Adam goes on some really weird, creepy soliloquy about letting loneliness like fester and take over until you can't take it anymore. Really doesn't seem to apply to Dorothy. I'm getting the sense that maybe she wasn't actually the killer. The camera cuts to a close-up of Kate's cheek. A drop of blood falls on it, the camera pans up, and we see Adam's dopey-ass face as he stares into the void with blood coming out of his nose. Surprise, surprise, Adam is the killer. He's been Jeremy the whole time. We're gonna get this awesome scene where he goes through his whole grand plan, rubs it in her face, and she has to sit there and slowly realize that the man she's trusted for so long has been a psycho killer the whole time. Oh, it's gonna be sweet! Wait, what? Oh, you're just gonna cut to black. Pretty sure you're getting a sequel, huh? Fuck. So yeah, folks, we don't get a proper killer reveal here. It's like they missed the entire point of the whodunit revenge slasher. You're supposed to have that moment where the audience and the survivor find out at the same time who the killer is. You start going through the moments in the film where maybe you should have noticed something. The character goes through those same moments in their lives where they've trusted this person, but we don't get any of that here. Now, I know that filmmaking is tough stuff. I've never made one myself. Maybe someday I'll be so lucky. But you can sort of tell when the product that's put together isn't really reaching that cinematic quality, and that's the case here with 2001's Valentine. But like I said, it does have its moments, and I'm happy I watched it just to say that I did. I may not watch it again unless I'm doing like a Mystery Science Theater kind of riff track sort of thing, poking a little fun at it, but you know, I didn't hate the experience, and it's not like the film is offensively bad or anything. People worked really hard on the film, and if it's one of your favorites, then more power to you. When it comes to film and art in general, you should like what you like and not give a shit what anyone else thinks. Certainly not some loudmouth idiot on YouTube. Well guys, that is gonna wrap it up for this installment of I Finally Watched It. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, hit subscribe if you'd like to see more, and jump on into the comments section below. Let me know your thoughts on Valentine. Am I right? Am I wrong? Was I too rude about David Boreanaz's acting ability? Was it mean, all those things I said about Jessica Capshaw and the weird faces she makes? I mean, here's a few more just because there's so many. That's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year. Thank you guys so much for coming by. Until next time, I've been and will continue to be Davey Deathray. Take care.